Wholeness and balance, family. This is your friend Antonio. Hope everybody doing good out there today. Just wanted to say hi and hold on one second. I wanted to speak on something today because they talk about when you want to hide truth from people, especially the melanated peoples of the world, hide it in a book. And we've gotten to a point now in the narrative of civilization where we have to start paying attention to real history to get a better understanding of actually how we got in our current situation. And that's actually the big disconnect because everyone doesn't really know factual history. And the interesting thing about history, it's not so much that a lot of it is still chunks that are hidden, but it's hidden in plain sight. Meaning you just have to know where to actually look at for certain types of information because a lot of this stuff you can find, a lot of information that people will think is bullshit, you can find it written by scholars and tons of books that you can buy right off Amazon. It's just if you wouldn't think to actually go there and purchase it, you wouldn't know it's there. And the other thing is, remember, there's a hijack in the academic community. They're gatekeepers. The same way business is rigged in favor of a select few, the academic institutions are rigged that way as well. And any information that doesn't fit the propagated narrative gets dismissed. And that's pretty much what's been going on for the past couple of centuries. One book I wanted to bring, and many more know about this book. Monsieur de Ducatil put me onto this book years ago. And I think everybody should have a copy of this book. It's called Ancient and Modern Brits by David Ritchie. And give me just a second. All right, y'all. So one thing to keep in mind, David Ritchie, he was an antiquarian. He loved studying old cultures and whatnot, specifically the stuff over there in England. And this is one of the books he wrote. Now, you see, the cover got a brother right there. You got a lighter sister. I don't know if that's supposed to be an Albion woman or what, but a lighter woman right there. When the Moors would go around traveling, a lot of times they wouldn't bring the women with them. They would just take whatever women were in the lands they were conquering. And that's how a lot of the royal houses over there eventually started getting bleached out, more or less. But I'm gonna show y'all something because this book was written in 1884. So it's 130 plus years old, the book. And, 1884. So it's 139 years, not 39, but, 130 plus years old. And, what I want to show y'all is just some of these definitions, some of the things this man stated back then. Specifically, let's start on this. It's on page 31. What's this say? White and black, as is well known, means with Eastern writers little more than dominant and dependent. Thus, the black Khazars or Hungarians were the subjects of the white Khazars. This is the thing everybody has to keep in mind. Specifically when it calls to the people you keep calling black in North America or just globally. He's showing you what it really means right here. Black or Kara has meaning of dependency and servitude, while white or Ak has that of sovereignty and freedom. But these colors are employed only so long as they really describe the position of a tribe. For if a dependent horde becomes independent and sovereign, the former Kara or black will be changed into Ak or white. The Tartars, to whom mighty conqueror Genghis Khan or Chengiz Khan belonged, were named before his time Kara Tartars, while another tribe was called Ak Tartars or White Tartars. This is also the reason why the Emperor of Russia is called the White Tsar, and the divisions of Russia into white and black express the same meaning. So, it telling you right here early on in this old book exactly that it's a status. Black and white has nothing to do with skin color. And this is one of the first things, the major things that blew my mind when I started dealing with more science and finding out about, okay, basically a lot of the suppressed real history. It is perhaps from a like custom that we ought to trace our word sir. Klaproth says that in the Vogel dialect and in Western Siberian, Sar, Sarni, Sorni, and Sarin mean white. In many Samoyed compounds, the same word is found as Sir, Sir, and Siri. These words do not mean what people think they mean. Like, just because they try to apply it in a different, with a different application nowadays, it doesn't take away from the original meaning of it. So you got to keep this stuff in mind as we move forward into the months and the years ahead, because the main issue that the melanated people of North America are dealing with is you keep self-identifying as a secondary class second class person. Don't nobody hold a gun to your head and tell you to check off black or African American. No, none of those mean anything in law. They're misnomers. They're words of art. They have no lawful meaning. Because you know why? Ain't nobody on earth ever signed a treaty under the name white people. Just like ain't nobody ever signed a treaty under the name black people. These people all had tribes, nations. They were bodies of people with a body politic who didn't let somebody else decide what they should be called. And the people, the melanated people, the Moors of the Americas, you have to wake up to this. And the word, I use the term Moor because it's not an incorrect term at all. I mean, you can use it as in the simplest sense just to mean dark-skinned people, but it has a lot more meaning than what people have been told. And it wasn't created by the people who were kind of pulling all the BS off. It was a word that existed before this bullshit on the planet started going on. Keep this in mind too. It was a lot of infighting. This is what we have to keep in mind, especially the melanated Moors, or melanated people of America. We got to realize that the people that we've been calling or misnomering as white, because they're not white, we have to realize that they didn't start this. We did. They just kind of took over things after the fact. And I bet you probably even at the head of some of them tables, those unseen hands that are manipulating global events, you still have melanated people. The ones at the top know exactly who they come from. They don't have amnesia like most people do. They're hiding ancient artifacts in their private libraries and private museums. And it's stuff that reveals a lot of the missing history of the world to people. What to say? Mora signified a great deal more than a native of Mauritania. Any Latin dictionary, any old one at least, will tell you that Moris is a Moor, a blackamoor, or a tawny Moor. And Shakespeare uses the word Moor as a synonym for Negro. Y'all to come down here. The uses outlasted Shakespeare by at least 2 generations. In a brief narrative of the encounters between the early colonists of New England and the native Indians, I found it stated that these unfortunate gentlemen were intercepted by 700 Moors, with whom they fought for the space of 4 hours, till not only they two, but Captain Sharp and 51 Christians more lay dead upon the place. They were calling the Indians Moors. Excuse me. They were calling them Moors. They weren't calling the people here Indians. Say what? And again, that at Woodstock, 10 miles from Sarkanch, on the 16th of May, was a little skirmish betwixt the Moors and Christians. That's who was fighting here. When the Moors got kicked out of Spain, they came home, and the Roman Church followed them.